So this is called a kettlebell wall airplane. Basically what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be using the hips on this one. So you're gonna step forward a little bit, 1 foot on the wall, 1 foot on the ground. What you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be mobilizing this hip. This arm's gonna stay nice and straight. You're gonna internally rotate. So this hip is gonna kind of kick out a little bit. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna externally rotate the hip, really opening it up. I'll move this out of the way so you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm internally rotating here. I'm going to drive this hip open and externally rotate. So it's just going to hang freely in here. It's not about rowing, not so much about moving the torso, but you're really isolating and mobilizing that hip. And you'll do both sides. So this is a prone variation of some hip mobility with internal and external rotation. So for internal rotation, you bring your leg out to the side like this. You're going to be rotating, pivoting, lifting the foot up nice and high. Mobilize internal rotation. To external rotation, foot's going to go behind, lay flat, and you're going to lift that knee up off the ground. Try not to roll yourself over. Really just trying to isolate and lift that hip specifically. This is called a golf club stork turn. What you're going to be doing, golf club's going to be in front of you like this. You're going to kind of hook your leg behind your knee. You're going to rotate your hips across as far as you can without turning your upper body at all. Pulling that knee across. This is a golf club pelvic turn. Just going to put a golf club down like this. And from here, you're just going to work on dissociation of rotating the hips on the pelvic, or hips on the upper body. So the upper body is not moving. You can put some pressure into that golf club to help stabilize it, but you're rhythmically just going to be going back and forth, trying to push those hips into end range. So this one's called the star drill. You can put out different markers as aiming points if you would like to. I'm going to show it to you balancing on an AirX pad. So it's 4 different motions. Basically you go in the same direction for one leg, you go the opposite direction for the other leg. So what you're going to be doing here, stability is more important than range of motion on this. So once you feel really stable, then you can start reaching further and further. But you're going to be tapping the foot in front, balancing out to the side as far as you kind of can. And you're going to go back as far as you comfortably can with a good squat, reaching. And then the last one is going to be a curtsy. So you're going to be here, reaching behind, reaching behind, reaching behind. Lightly tap, come back up to standing. So that would be one circle. So you're going to go the exact same direction. And then for the other foot, you're going to switch and go the opposite way. Okay. What you can do if you need to is you can kind of go out to the side and tap back down and put weight on the foot if you want to challenge yourself more. Don't put that foot down at all and just continue to try to go all the way through each cycle. So this is a med ball sit up and throw. What I want you to do is I want you to use variable weighted med balls, so you can do some light ones, some heavy ones, but what the goal of this one is to throw it as hard as you possibly can. So what I'm kind of pretending is the wall's not even there. I'm just trying to throw it as far and as hard as I possibly can. So laying on your back, arms are going to be overhead, med ball's going to be overhead. You're going to initiate that pull using those lat muscles, those overhead muscles, not bending and straightening the elbows and flicking the ball. You're throwing it. So how it's going to look, you're going to be here, and it's going to cause you to sit up due to the momentum of you throwing it. Okay, so it's going to be here, throwing it, all the way back, throwing it as hard as you possibly can. And again, you can use lighter, heavier balls, and just trying to throw it as far as you possibly can. This is a lateral push off the wall with a med ball throw. This is the variation I'd like you to do. I'll show you another variation as well. So how we're going to do it, line up against the wall. Med ball is going to be on the wall. You're going to be kind of leaning into the wall, loaded mostly on that lead leg. You're going to be pushing off the wall with your arms and with that leg to get as much distance away from the wall as you can. Okay, so you're going to be here, pushing laterally. That's going to cause you to load this trail side, and you're going to bring it kind of to a backswing. From this position, you should be loaded like this. You're going to push to that lead leg. You're going to throw the ball as hard as you possibly can to the wall. Okay, I don't want you spinning out, stepping forward out of it. If you need to start jumping not quite so far right away, do that. And I don't want this to be a giant big step as you're throwing. It should be kind of a smaller step like you're doing a golf swing. So a live rep, it's gonna look like this. You're here, jumping, pushing away from the wall, stepping, throwing nice and hard. The alternative option, you're just gonna be lined up like this. You jump like this, and you're gonna throw against the wall like that. I do like the push because it really forces you to have to use that lead leg a little bit more to get distance, absorb, and then go, but you can do whatever you would like. So this is called a towel or a sock swing. So this is basically just a long sock with a knot in it. You just kind of hold that in your hands. You can do both lead arm and trail arm. I'm not gonna swing it fast because the mic will fly off, but what you're gonna be doing here is loading up in that position, snapping, driving through, and trying to get this thing to hit the box as hard as you can with a little bit of snap to it. So it's gonna be here, snapping as hard as you possibly can, really getting a good rip on there. You're gonna do about 3 to 5, so you could be moving at max speed, and then you're gonna do trail arm as well. So you're gonna be through here, swinging up, through, slapping it as hard as you possibly can. This is called lead leg vertical jump. What I'm gonna do here is I just have a step, and you can vary the height. I like to start it lower. The most I would wanna do is maybe one biscuit underneath here, but you're gonna be loaded up in this position with your lead leg up on top of the box. Your arms are gonna be back in this position. What the key for this one is as the arms are coming down, you wanna be exploding the lower body upwards, okay? You're also gonna add a little bit of a rotational element to it. So what it's gonna be is it's gonna basically be you're jumping vertically with a little bit of a turn landing on the box. You need to push both lead leg and trail leg. If you don't push the trail leg at all, you're gonna kind of fall backwards and land towards the front of the box. If you push the trail leg too much and the lead leg too late, you're gonna travel over the box. If you do it correctly, you should land right in the middle of the box. So a live rep, arms are coming down aggressively as the lower body is rising with a little bit of rotation. Okay, so full rep's gonna look like this. Backswing, throwing down, turning that way. You're gonna do also the other side too, so you're gonna do a lefty swing too. This is a drop jump series is what it's called. So what we're really working on here is being able to absorb the ground quickly and get off and explode. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna find a step like this. Arms are gonna start up in the air like this, and when your feet hit the ground, you're gonna be having them back kind of by your hips. So it's gonna be here, it's basically gonna be a step off, and your feet are gonna hit the exact same time. That was a really slow one. A full speed one's just gonna be here, snap, here, snap. You're pulling yourself down into the ground quick. Once you've kind of mastered that motion, you're then going to rebound and explode out of that position. So it's gonna be that quick absorption and explode up top. If you want to, I would put a box in front as well and kind of perform a box jump, or you can even do those 90-degree jumps where you step off land and do that jump 90-degree turn. I don't have it here just because you can't see it with the camera, but with that quick explosion jump, you're just gonna be here, stepping off, exploding as quick as you can, trying to really push down into the ground and get yourself up. So this is an overhead med ball throw. It's kind of similar to the sit up and throw, but you're gonna be in the standing position. What I want with this one, same thing, you're gonna be throwing overhead. It's not bending the elbows and straightening the elbows, it's throwing the arms. What I want is one leg forward. So I'm just gonna put my left leg forward, lead leg forward. And as you are throwing, the momentum of you throwing forward should almost de-weight you and pull that leg back. I don't want you to actively try to go, but it's gonna pull it back for you. So you're in this position, overhead, throwing. The speed and momentum of that throw is gonna bring that foot back as you're kind of pushing off of it to get some momentum. So you're here. And again, you can use variable weight, light and heavy. This is an overhead rainbow med ball slam. So basically what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be bringing the ball overhead, turning sideways, and slamming down to the side as hard as we can, okay? So what a live rep's gonna look like, you're gonna do both sides. You're gonna be here, kind of swing into it, over the top, slam down as hard as you can. Swing into it, over the top, slam down as hard as you can. Going to the other side, swing into it, over the top. This one's called a scoop toss. So what I want to do with that scoop toss is doing a little bit of a backswing. I want that lower body to kind of shift, and I'm throwing the ball underhand, scooping. I'm not throwing it sideways. A lot of people, when you're throwing med balls, you kind of get chucking it sideways. I want you to come down and through, kind of like a golf swing, okay? The things I want you to focus on: pushing off this trail leg as you're coming through to get over this lead leg, and also with that lead leg vertically pushing. So start off nice and easy, and then as you get more comfortable with it, start increasing speed. So a nice slow rep is going to be here, backswing, scooping. You'll hit a little bit higher on the wall at first, and then once you start adding speed, you can kind of just time the release point. But it's going to be back here, loading, pushing off that trail side, getting to that lead leg, exploding vertically, and letting those arms almost freely swing underneath. So live rep's going to be here, throwing like that.